Look now at a dramatic, randomized comparative experiment designed to tackle a growing problem, domestic violence.
597, 10-4 and a code 2.
She was lying in a bed.
And how was he over her?
He was over her, just like kneeling and, and choking her, and her face was just like, her eyes were bulging. And
You heard him slap her?
yeah.
Domestic violence, the most common and often the most dangerous of all police calls. That's why in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, these DV cases are treated very seriously. The suspected batterer is automatically arrested. But is that the best way to prevent further violence?
If we're not doing what we should be doing, then let's find out if there's a better way of doing it. Hopefully, that's what I'm going to get, that's what I expect to get from this study. Is there a better way of doing it? Right now, I have to believe mandatory arrest is the way to go.
The study the chief approved was designed by Dr. Larry Sherman, a professor of criminology, and is run from a tiny office in police headquarters. Here, they're applying experimental methods to solve a real social problem. How can the police prevent a repetition of the violence?
We evaluate what the police do, not just in terms of what happens that night, but what happens over the long term, the next 3 months or 6 months. Are people more or less likely to commit offenses because of what the police have done? That seemed to me to be the most important question, and the best way to answer that was with the medical model of research in which the different police strategies, just like different pills or different kinds of surgeries, would be applied at random to control for other possible causal influences on repeat violence.
The administrators of the experimental treatments are 30 specially trained domestic violence officers. Once on the scene, they must quickly diffuse the violence. They rely on experience and instinct to make sense of a chaotic situation.
How do you know this man?
That's my baby's daddy, that's all. Okay, that's all.
Did you ever live with this man?
No, I haven't.
How old is your baby?
She's 6 years old, and she is here.
And he's the father?
Yes.
She says you beat her with the stick on the arm. You might have busted her
I
arm.
ain't touched her. Ask anybody up there.
She's holding her arm like it's busted.
She hit me, I didn't hit her.
After dealing with the immediate crisis, the officers then determine if the case is eligible for the study. The victim and suspect must both be present. Neither can be wanted by the police. There can be no serious injuries, death threats, or weapons on the scene. The officers will administer one of 3 treatments assigned from the safety of police headquarters.
Hello, Janelle Schmidt.
Squad 583 to DBO. I've got an eligible case.
Okay, hang on a minute. What's your payroll number? And the victim's last name? Initial? All right, hang on.
Each sealed envelope contains one of 3 treatment code numbers, chosen earlier with a random numbers table. The 3 treatments are 1, arrest and hold until bail is posted, usually about 12 hours. 2, arrest and release within 2 hours. 3, no arrest. The police mediate the dispute at the scene.
Okay, officer, you have a code 3.
583, 10-4.
Code 3, the suspect is released.
Edward, come on up.
Edward will never know he was just a slip of paper away from being arrested, or that he was a research subject in an experiment.
Edward, here's your cane, and I want you to head that way up North Avenue, okay? Okay, I want you to leave now.
We don't get consent. We don't tell people what's going on. They are blind to the fact that there is an experiment. They are blind to the reasons why the treatments are being allocated.
This incident is over. The suspect remains free. The victim is on her way to the hospital to get her arm x-rayed, and the domestic violence officers are on their way to the next case. But the experiment isn't over. The critical part is finding out just what impact the treatment had. Johnny Johnson is paying a visit to a woman who was beaten by her boyfriend 6 months ago. Johnny's collecting the most important data. Has there been a repeat of the violence? The woman asked to remain anonymous.
Do you feel that
with the police arresting him and keeping him overnight, did that make him feel that what he did to you was wrong?
No. But when he get high, you can't talk to him.
Okay.
You can't get nothing through to him.
So you're saying that when he gets high, it doesn't matter to him whether or not he's going to jail or not?
Yeah, because he's not thinking. He's not thinking straight.
The thoroughness of the data gathering, combined with a random assignment of the treatments, ensures reliable conclusions on the best way the police can prevent future violence.
You're going to have to contact them, okay? You're going to be going back home. If Edward comes over there and there's more trouble, you call the police.
We are attempting to treat similar cases in different ways according strictly to a random assignment sequence. And if we then get different amounts of violence associated with those different treatments, there's no other possible explanation for those differences other than what the police did. And that's practical science.
As the domestic violence study suggests, it's tough to design a good randomized comparative experiment. Here's a fictional example to see how easy it is to slip up.
Welcome to the laboratory of Dr. Confound, where nothing is quite the way it should be.
Well, hello there. I'm so glad you both decided to help me test this new mood-altering medication. I'll call you research subject number 7 and you number 8. Now, to begin the experiment, I'm going to ask you each to assess your mood. Very bad, bad, fair, good, or very good. All right, number 7, you first. Very bad? Oh, even worse than very bad. Oh, that's a shame. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, and you number 8? Very good. Okay, well, why don't you each take a seat? Ooh, I'm sorry, there's only one chair. Number 7, you're not feeling well. Why don't you take it? You don't mind standing for a while, do you, number 8? Okay. Now, I'm going to give you each a pill and see how you feel in 1 hour. All right, number 7, here's your pill. There you go. All right. Number 8. Yeah, let's see. I have something. Yeah. Here, something for you. All right, your time is up. How are you feeling, number 7? You're looking better. Nowhere to go but up, right? What's that? You said between bad and fair. Well, let's say fair, since you're definitely feeling better. And you, number 8? You're feeling worse than you did before? You're feeling very bad now. So sorry to hear it. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, number 7 and number 8. I'm happy to say you're my final 2 subjects. I can't wait to publish these exciting new results. Helping mankind can be so rewarding.
So we got a little carried away. The point is, knowing what makes a bad experiment helps you appreciate a good design. Let's recap the good features of an experiment like the physician's health study. Random assignment. The subjects were randomly assigned to the aspirin or control group, so the groups were as similar as chance could make them. Comparison. 2 equivalent groups were compared. Both were treated exactly alike, except one received the aspirin, the other a placebo. Double blindness. Neither the researchers nor the subjects knew who received treatment and who received placebo. Sample size. Researchers had enough subjects to observe a reliable difference in the heart attack rates of the 2 groups. In this program, we've looked at ways to go beyond anecdotal evidence, like my grandpa's, to producing data in controlled, randomized experiments.